Joseph Addabbo is chairman of the state Senate's Racing, Gaming, and Wagering Committee, and he has a dream. Bring the Jets back to New York after 40 years in the wilderness. Yes. Tell me about your dream. Well, you just wake up one day and you said, I want to bring the Jets back to Queens?
I hate a missed opportunity. Russia, you know, when I read that they wanted to build a soccer stadium, you know, in very close proximity to where the Jets used to play, and the fact that the construction of that stadium coincided a bit with their expiration of the lease in Jersey, I said, here's a great opportunity. We don't have to talk about, you know, hundreds of millions in revenue. We can talk about billions in revenue if we brought the Jets back. So there you go.
So basically, let's go through this. There's a plan now to build a soccer stadium near Citi Field in Willets Point, right?
Yes.
You say instead of 25,000 seats, build
roughly 80.
80,000?
80,000 or thereabouts. I mean, an actual football stadium, state-of-the-art, something that would be a pride for NFL and for residents here in New York. And let's do this. The land is there. You need initiative. If you really are interested about not only revenue, but, again, thousands and thousands of jobs, good jobs, I think this is an opportunity that really we should take advantage of.
So what has to happen for this dream to become a reality?
You know, some people want to be serious about, you know, not only today or tomorrow, but next 20, 40, 50 years down the road, doing the right thing for the borough of Queens and for the city. And this is an initiative that the owners of the Jets and the property owners really should get together and figure out they iron it out.
But some people are going to say, hey, they signed a lease in New Jersey, you know, that place in the Meadowlands.
Yeah, that place. Yeah, they're the New York Jets. They should be here.
So what, can they get out of their lease?
It expires just at about the time that they're constructing and finishing the construction on the stadium. So again, time-wise, it works out rather well.
So as I've read, it turns out that they have an opt-out. They can opt out in 2025, but they have to let New Jersey know a year ahead of time, which is next year. So all they have to do is say, yo, Governor Murphy, we don't want to come, we don't want to play here anymore.
It all starts with a conversation, maybe like this one right here.
But seriously, I mean, do you think that this is something that could happen?
If they're serious, listen, I'm always the eternal optimist, although a realist. It can happen. It just takes some initiative.
So let's go through all the reasons why this is a good idea. Jobs.
No question. Construction jobs, good union construction jobs, thousands. Post-construction, thousands of good probably union jobs there too. Again, sustainable. Going forward, these jobs will be there for years to come.
Revenue.
Billions. You're talking about merchandising, you're talking about advertising, you're talking about bringing the Jets back to New York. That's monumental. What
about tourism? Would it bring tourists to New York?
No question. You're seconds from LaGuardia Airport. You're seconds and minutes from Manhattan. This is, again, a destination now. What's going on at Citi Field? What's going on at the, you know, possibly a casino there? You got the new football stadium. This is certainly a transformed destination for the city.
Sports betting.
No question. We're the #1 product in the country at this point, mobile sports betting. This will, again, the sky's the limit.
Fan excitement.
I've already heard it. There are so many Jet fans out there who want to see them come home. Bring the Jets home. Make that NY at the side of the helmet really mean New York.
So are you a Jets fan?
I am. But it's not about me. You know, it's not about me. It's about what I look forward to as far as the benefits that we could realize going forward.
So when you see the NY on the Jets helmet, what's your reaction?
It bothers me so much. It
Why?
does. They're not New York. They play in New Jersey. The Giants play in New Jersey. I actually, in the city council, I was thinking about a piece of legislation that you can only have a New York team if you played in New York. But there is a certain amount of revenue we do get from merchandising the New York Jets. But nevertheless, they should be called New York Jets because they play in New York.
So the Jets did build a new practice facility in 2008, $75 million practice facility in Florham Park. Is that going to be an impediment, or could it be built?
I believe they used to practice in Long Island as well. You know, the bottom line is, it's where they play. Where do they play the actual NFL games? Has to be in New York.
Well, it's only one of a couple of teams that share a stadium. So why should they share it with the Giants?
Listen, I agree with you. You know, and especially if they were able to opt out and come home to New York, back to Queens, where they used to play at Shea Stadium, then why not?
So if you could talk to Woody Johnson, talk to him right now. Tell him what you'd like to see.
What I'd like to see is something that I think the Jets should have been built upon, and that's basically their fan base. Where would they be without their fans? You know, I think their fan base is still in New York. I think their fan base grows exponentially if they come back to New York. So you want to do the right thing by the team. You want to do the right thing for New York, the namesake of your team. then come back to Queens, come back to this new stadium.
So could the state make it worth their while to come back?
Listen, sometimes when government gets involved, things don't quite go so well. So, you know, right now I think the conversation should be with the owner of the Jets and with the owners of the property. But any way we can help on a city, state, or federal level, sure, we should stand at the ready to help.
Well, you know, Governor Hochul did recently offer the Buffalo Bills a rather sweetheart deal to build a new stadium in Buffalo. So why not do the same thing for here in downstate New York?
Listen, I always say stand at the ready. Be ready to help out if you can. If in terms of jobs and revenue, certainly stand ready.
So some people say, though, it might be difficult because you'd have to deal with an adjustment of traffic patterns.
I don't think there's any hurdle, because you will have naysayers. You will have people opposing this. I don't think there's any hurdle that cannot be overcome, whether it be infrastructure, traffic patterns. You'd have to, again, you can alternate the schedules between Citi Field and the soccer stadium and the football. I think there's ways of doing that. There is no hurdle that cannot be overcome for the sake of creating these jobs.
So would we want to build two stadiums, or a soccer stadium and a football stadium, or could you just build one big stadium that could accommodate both?
One stadium that accommodates both.
And so that makes it, you know, the soccer people could contribute their piece of the pie. The Jets could contribute their piece of the pie. Governor Hochul could come through and give them a big...
We could all be at the ribbon cutting. You know, again, I do favor the soccer team, New York City Soccer Club. I appreciate them being there, and certainly I am in favor of that. But there could be a coexistence between them and the New York Jets, the true New York Jets.
So you want them to be the true New York Jets. So one could say this could be a long shot. How long a shot is this? Since it's Super Bowl Sunday, we're taking bets anyway.
Yeah, it's like a 60-yard field goal. It's kind of tough to do, you know.
But on the other hand, it's not out of the realm of reality.
You know, the bottom line is it all starts with a conversation. I threw it out there as an idea, and the idea was basically, you know, how can we make this work? Well, you know what? You don't want elected officials involved at some point. But at some point, somebody say, hey, we have an opportunity here. Are we really going to pass up this great opportunity for not only the revenue, it's about the jobs, in my opinion. Post-COVID, we're looking for job growth. We're looking for something that's sustainable going forward. You're going to pass up this opportunity. You really want to get this grand opportunity, the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of building a stadium, and pass it up? You know, go right ahead. But I think I'm not one to miss an opportunity. So
you think on Super Bowl Sunday it might be a great message to send to Jets fans that their team could come back to New York?
Listen, you know, I think Super Bowl Sunday is made of dreams and hopes and who's going to win their box that they picked in the grid, and hope. You know, the bottom line is, yeah, give Jet fans some hope. Throw it out there that there's at least a conversation starting. You know, and I think that's a healthy conversation to have.
And you say it's all about the economy, it's all about jobs, it's all about revenue for New York.
If you want to do the right thing for New York, bring the Jets back home.
And New York City?
Sure. And the borough of Queens.
The borough of Queens.
I've heard of it, yes.
So, since you're a Queens senator, one last question. Since you are a Queens state senator, what would it mean to you, Joe Addabbo, Jets fan, have friends who are Jets fans, what would it mean to you personally to see the Jets play in your home borough?
It would certainly be a homecoming. You know, we were not happy when even the Brooklyn Dodgers left Brooklyn. I mean, you're never happy to lose a team that you root for, a team that, you know, my fondest memories of being at Shea Stadium with my father. You know, the bottom line is to bring it back to where they belong in New York. To me, is not for me, but for generations of Jet fans to come, it'd be the right thing to do.
And Jets fans would be really happy.
I would think so.
So we're going to have to leave it right there for now, but our conversation continues right after the show on our streaming channel, CBS News New York.